Episode 108 of Got It Made starts with tremendous gratitude, followed by a sneak peek of what the inside of the new shop might look like. Let's get started. I'll try not to ramble on today, but there is nowhere else that I could possibly start except with thank you. Last week I shared with everyone my effort, which has been a 3-year effort to try to get out of this small space into a more proper workspace. And I shared with you how I have a contract to buy a building in Bristol. And I also was very candid in sharing that I need some help. I can't do this on my own. And it's so hard to ask for help. I don't know how. I've always been the helper, not the helpee in my life. And I was so afraid of so many things. I was afraid that everybody would be mad at me because, I acknowledge that I need some help, and everybody would be mad at me because I actually asked for help. And the lesson that I learned last week is to never underestimate the care, concern, and generosity of people. You took my breath away. Some of you stepped up and offered to help, and it just left me speechless. I don't know what to say, and unfortunately, our language is insufficient to offer me a way to convey just how much that means to me, just how much it helps me, and how grateful that I am. And all our language offers me is insufficient words. Thank you. That's all I can offer right now. For everyone who invested in me, I hope that one day soon that I can show you that I was a good investment, and that I'll be able to offer you back something more than the insufficient words of thank you. I had so many people leave me kind comments of encouragement, comments of advice, comments of cheerleading. It just blows my mind. I'm going to leave the fundraiser up for a while because I'm going to have a lot of costs involved in this project, and I'm going to try to raise a few more dollars. There's some people locally outside of the channel who I think might get involved a little bit. Sweat equity spends well too. I had people offer to come down and help me. That spends as well as $100 bills. So I'll accept that too. So anyway, I just, part of this, as I said last week, it's not just about me. I've got a big vision for this that I hope will help other people like me who have struggled to find a place to work out of. And this is a few-year journey, but that's the vision, that I can grow this into something that can help a lot of people. So, we'll get there. We got to get this done. And I'm so grateful that you'll be there along the way for the ride with me. Last week I was able to get access to the building again to inspect it, and I was also able to take some really good measurements of the inside of the building, and I kind of want to give you a sneak peek of it. I have actual footage that I took, but I probably shouldn't show that because it's still currently actively being used as a church. But what I did do is I drew it up on SketchUp, so you can kind of get an idea of how it all lays out. And so check out this clip that I'm about to show, and maybe that'll describe part of this vision I have and how it might look inside once we get started. This is a pretty busy highway, and it goes right into the main drag going into Bristol right here. It's about, eighth of a mile or a quarter of a mile. There's quite a bit of green space right here, and especially in the back. And that's where I hope to one day be able to expand, the artisan village and put another building back there. There's a lot of parking lot, and that kind of scares me a little bit because it's not in great shape, and I'm going to have to address that in the next few years, and I don't know what that's going to cost. There's a lot of windows along this side of the building, and that's cool. There'll be a lot of natural light in the showroom and in the shop itself. That's the main entrance. big double door, and then there's a small door down here to give access to the back of the building. And there's a big door in the back. At one time it had been a garage door, and they changed it around, so I'm going to have to retrofit that for a garage door. So let's take a look at how the inside is laid out. This front part is the lobby, and that will become the retail space. It's pretty good size. I ought to have a decent little display area in there. Then you go down the hallway and come to the first classroom, and this is one of the spaces I hope to be able to make available to a local artisan. There's a window in there, so there's natural light, so it ought to work real good. The next room is what is a nursery, and I think that that'll be a good space for someone that doesn't require a lot of space. And there's a closet right here, provide a little bit of storage there. Then you go down the hallway to the 2 bathrooms and into the room on the end, which I hope will be my office, where I can do the things that I have to do on the computer and other kinds of things involved with running a business. This big room is actually a full kitchen, and a lot of that's going to have to come out. I think that I may make that my tool room, where I can store my tools and I don't know, maybe some lumber. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with that. There's a big basin sink right here that I'm definitely going to keep. And this big area here, which is the sanctuary of this church, will become the shop. And it's laid out kind of funny, but I think that I can make it pretty functional. Let's take a look at what it might look like when I get it filled up with stuff. This area, that's where the CNC plasma will be. Actually, that whole area might be the little metal shop, welding table. Got my welders here. And that's where I can do some of that kind of work there. The other side of the shop, that'll be the woodworking shop. The CNC router will go there. There's a lot of windows here, so natural light. This will be an area for assembly and finish and sanding and things like that. The things like the drill press and the castle machine will be there. Got a bandsaw, planer joiner. I don't know how to lay out this stuff. I'm thinking, okay, I can join it that way, turn around and plane it that way, and then come to the table saw. I've never had a big space like this to work in, so I don't really know how to lay this stuff out. And there's Jenny looking at the cut station, probably telling me it's too close to the CNC. That's my early vision of how this building is going to function. It'll probably change over time, but at least there's plenty of room on this property to grow and expand. I've been able to get by okay for a long time without having to try real hard. And when I say that, I don't mean not work hard. I mean not try hard in the sense of having formality around the business that I transact. I've never really had to do that or pursued it. On this journey, I'm learning so much right now about how to start a legitimately organized business, how to work with brokers and bankers and municipalities and city leaders. I'm learning so much about how to navigate like an SBA loan. I'm learning so much about this journey that I'm thinking about documenting this, and I want your opinion on it. I did an 8-part series on how to build a pole barn, and it helped a lot of people. I'm thinking that what I'm experiencing right now might help people if it was broken out into a series. Because what I'm learning is all this stuff that your local incubator kind of place tells you have to do is not the case. Throw away the textbook outlines of all this stuff. That's not what the banker's going to want. So I'm learning tips that I think will help people. And I'm thinking about documenting it. And if you think that that would be something, it may not be a sexy series, won't be making sawdust, but it'll be showing if you want to do or emulate what I'm trying to do, this is what I'm going through, and this is what you need to worry about, and this is what somebody's going to tell you need to worry about, but you probably don't need to worry about. And I want to just kind of show this and give a chronology of it. I don't know, it'll be called, I don't know. So you want to start a woodworking business? Be careful what you wish for. Or since this is a church that I hope to buy, it's going to be called From Souls to Sawdust. I don't know. I'm just curious. What do you think? Would you like to watch something like that? You think it would help other people? If so, we'll make it happen. I try to caution myself and everyone else that this isn't a done deal. I've still got some ground to cover. I've got some hurdles to jump over and maybe a mountain or two to climb, but we're moving in that direction. Things have to fall in place. The building has to appraise. It has to pass inspection. I have to get a loan, which I'm kind of stressed out about that because I haven't borrowed money in so long, and luckily I don't owe a lot of money, and I'm just afraid I probably ain't even got any credit. I don't know. So we've got to get through that. We'll make that happen, and we'll get in this building, and we'll start the journey to the Bristol Artisan Village, a way to help me and help other people too, and hopefully entertain all of you all along the way. I've got a lot to do over the next couple of weeks. It's a pretty critical time period as far as getting ready for the SBA loan, so I probably won't check back in for a while, but I will soon enough. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you back here then. But until then, I've had a good week. I've had an uplifting and inspiring week. And I've had a grateful and humble week. Hope you had a good week too. Talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. Today is about gratitude.
Mm-hmm. You got a lot to be thankful for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You saw it all week, and you saw my reaction all week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what was that? How would you describe that reaction?
Very touched.
Mm-hmm. Kind of almost cried a time or two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty lucky.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
What?
Impressive.
Yeah, it blows my mind. Can't screw this one up. Greg Porter said, "Don't f this up, Fred." So, all right.
You did good. Alrighty. Oh, except for the one thing.
What?
I did not agree to this $5,000 thing. I'm just saying that for the record. I didn't have anything to do with that.
Hey, $5,000 is $5,000, you know?
No.
If you don't know what she's talking about, go look at the fundraiser. It's the $5,000 donation tier.
Ain't happening.
I'll work on it. Get $5,000. I'll work on it. It'll happen.